And it's never too late to do a recap of Married to Medicine Season 10, Episode 1, with the new addition of Phaedra. Did she flop, or was she exactly what they needed for this new season? A refresh of some kind. We got some new faces that we have to talk about, and some more things to talk about, especially things that are playing out on social media. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the video. Let's get into a countdown so the notification squad is notified, and then let's get into one of our favorite shows on Bravo, Married to Medicine Season 10.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Yes, I am now out of Vegas. Thank God. Applause for being out of Vegas. Shout out to everyone that lives in Vegas. Shout out to everyone that I met at BravoCon. But it was just chaos in Vegas, not just because of BravoCon, but because of everything that was happening in Vegas at the same weekend. So I could not be happier to leave and come to another very busy city, Los Angeles. And as I said to you guys before, while I'll be traveling this week, videos will be limited. As soon as I've landed, I've already got plans to do this, and this. I also have never been to Los Angeles, so there's still a lot that I want to see and do before I leave. So, yes. But I did end up watching Married to Medicine on the plane here, and I watched it again Tuesday morning. So, and now I want to talk about it because Married to Medicine, despite, we were very worried that Phaedra Parks was going to stink up the place. But very much like on Real Housewives of Dubai when she was on that, and when she was on Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, Phaedra, whatever Phaedra used to have on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like it's kind of gone. Yeah, she can give us little quirky, funny moments, and I did laugh at some of her confessionals, but that's not enough to carry a show. That's not enough to be an important ingredient to a show. I think the Phaedra that people knew and loved from back in the day, before the whole Candy situation, is kind of gone. And maybe because she's just a different person now, which is fine. People grow and evolve and hopefully get off of reality TV. But she's been wanting to return. So the very first scene, of course, is Phaedra and her store, or I don't know what it's considered. You guys will let me know in the comments section. What is the vault considered? Is this some place that's been in business for a while? Apparently, Phaedra has all these different businesses besides being a lawyer anymore. She has the mortuary license. We saw her do all of that. Okay, now she's getting into Reiki. And apparently she's dating a cardiologist that we still did not see. And according to Dr. Heavenly, even before the episode aired, he must have not signed a release of his image on the show, which says to me that we're not going to see him during the season, which says to me that this was a plot that Todd set up for the BS. No, but I'm just like, I was a little bit more open to Phaedra coming to this season if she really was legitimately dating a doctor. Do I need to see that doctor all the time? No, but I do need to see him at some point and not a cartoon over his face. But she's already said that there might be another doctor. I don't know if she's still dating this doctor and another doctor. we all know that this is not real. And the fact that Dr. Heavenly in this first scene says, the truth ain't in the bee yet. Look, the bee. I was just like, this is what I love about Dr. Heavenly. No, even if I don't agree with her, even if I think that she can be inappropriate and belligerent sometimes, I still love her. I think she's so important for the messiness of Married to Medicine. Like, her commentary throughout this first episode was gold. And I know some people just find her abrasive. You don't like her for whatever reason. I get it. But you need personalities like Dr. Heavenly on this show. And she's actually married to medicine, and she is a doctor. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I cannot watch the show without Dr. Heavenly. And I get why some of you just are, you're sort of like, I can't with her. I get it. She's a lot, but she's also enough that we need for this show. And when she said the truth ain't in Phaedra, I said, well, at least she knows. At least she knows. That's her Scorpio sister. Dr. Jackie, I don't recall how many times we saw your husband Curtis last season, but I can see that Curtis is missing a lot in action in the last couple of years, ever since their marriage was on the rocks. I don't know if they've made a conscious effort not to have him on the show as much anymore, but it's interesting that we're not seeing a lot of Curtis in the last couple of seasons. We'll see how this season goes. Do I think Dr. Jackie is necessary for the show? In a way. I much prefer, honestly, Dr. Jackie than Dr. Simone. And I know what people are thinking. Yeah, as a doctor too. No, come on. Be respectful. I do enjoy Dr. Simone because she's very different than Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is very manicured. She's very, she's not going to give you a lot. But I love Dr. Jackie's intelligence and what she adds to the show when it comes to why people love the show, when it comes to the medical expertise. She's always introducing us to really interesting things, especially when it comes to Black women and their health and things like that. So that's why she's important to be on the show. And Dr. Simone, we'll get back to Dr. Simone. We'll get back to Dr. Simone. All right. You know who I saw at BravoCon over the weekend? Remember Tana from Love Match Atlanta, part of the duo? Well, she gave us an update. Well, because she was like my BravoCon, the way I ended BravoCon last year, I think I saw her on the day 2 of last year, and we caught up, and she loves us because we covered Love Match Atlanta, and we loved Love Match Atlanta. We're still hoping for some sort of situation. Guess what? Guess what she told me? I need to do a BravoCon separate live thing, but she did tell me that technically, you know how some of these shows are canceled? She says, technically, Love Match Atlanta is not necessarily canceled. They have not moved forward with the next season, but technically it's not canceled. And she was filling in as a moderator over the weekend for BravoCon. And she's going to be on this season of Married to Medicine. She's actually really good friends with Dr. Simone. And I'm excited to see her and see her back on our TV screens. And she gave us another update. Remember Kelly, her partner, part of the duo? She got married to that man. Yep. She moved to Detroit. So congratulations to Kelly. Congratulations to Tana. Tana's going to be on a few episodes, she told me. So we caught up. We had a really good kiki. I thought I would see her on day 3. I didn't get to see her on day 3, but I was happy to see her. I was very, very happy to see her. That was one of the highlights of BravoCon weekend. And the Married to Medicine panel. What can I say about the Married to Medicine panel? I think I posted the Married to Medicine panel here on YouTube. I can't recall. There's a lot of content that we posted. But if you remember, you saw it live. You saw it live because I went live. The Married to Medicine panel it was definitely less chaotic than last season, than last year's BravoCon. Because last year's BravoCon between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly, the amount of screaming, phones being shown in the audio, it was a mess last season. It was more organized this season, this year BravoCon, but it was still entertaining. It was still very interesting. I did get I heard from 2 people on the same day that Quad seasoning is amazing. So I went and I bought. That was probably like the only thing that I bought from any of the Bravo celebrities. I kind of regret not getting Dr. Wendy Acefel's candle because I did smell it, but I didn't have a big enough bag, and I was gonna buy it at the end of the day, and I completely forgot. When I left, I was like, damn it. So I wanted to get Dr. Wendy Acefel's candle and a t-shirt. Happy Eddie, they were promoting the hell out of Happy Eddie merch and things like that over at BravoCon. But yeah, so I got Quad spices because, you know, Quad has that spice thing. And Quad went on social media after the episode aired because everyone was talking about her and she wanted to promote her sass spices on their Instagram account. So she said she was going to give away like $1,000 for someone to follow the directions and let them know how many times she was mentioned in this episode. Although we only got a little scene of Quad at the beginning. I wonder if that counts for her being in the episode so she's able to get paid for that episode. Because we already know. Remember, we reported that Quad was not coming back. And then all of a sudden the next day, officially, you know, because she even said it. She even said it in the comment section. Or at least, she didn't say it directly, but she made it seem as if, oh yeah, I'm not going to come back. But then the next day, she must have figured out her contract. This is the second season of last-minute contract negotiations, and she was able to come back. So I'm wondering if they included that little scene with Quad to make it official that she's in the episode. But she feels like everyone's talking about her. But rewinding back, I made such a left turn in regards to this recap. I hope you're still here with me. But I want to spill some Married to Medicine tea in the middle, okay? All right. Anyways, so we're not going to see Phaedra's cartoon character doctor boyfriend, okay? Again, we have another season where the group is talking about how they have not heard from Quad. They don't know where Quad is. Dr. Heavenly is alluding she might be looking for a Nigerian. She might be with somebody's husband. Okay, this is where Dr. Heavenly goes too far and why I understand why Quad comes at her the way that she does. Because she will say some of these wild things because in real life, that couldn't be our friend. Look, Dr. Heavenly couldn't be our friend talking about us like that. Calling us a home wrecker? Gold digger? She called Quad a gold digger in this episode. And told us that Sweet Tea was digging for copper. I'm sorry, it was funny to me. It was funny to me. Anyways, back to this. So, when asked on, because Dr. Jackie said to Phaedra, so are you dating, because she's talking about her doctor's international or something like that. He's not from here. And Dr. Jackie's like, oh, so is he from Europe? I don't know why Dr. Jackie went to Europe, but okay. And she's like, oh, you got me on that white meat. No, I like the dark meat. He's a black doctor. He's from Nigeria. Apparently, there's a lot of Nigerians in Atlanta. Rich ones, allegedly. Look, I say allegedly because I don't know if they really have the money. But okay. Anyways, so they talk about that, but they also talk about how they have not seen or heard from Quad. They also mention how Phaedra met Quad through Dr. Gregory. We already know. So Phaedra is actually really good friends with Dr. Gregory, and apparently she may have dated him, according to Quad. But apparently there was no in and the out. She never really got to explain what it was. Did they just go on a couple of dates? Was it an actual relationship? But now they're friends. They're friends. And she's actually friends with Quad, too. But, I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I want to say about this scene. Nothing really. I mean, they wanted to give this scene to introduce Phaedra. I loved it at the end of it when Phaedra walked away, and in her confessional, Dr. Heaven was like, the truth ain't in that bitch. I was like, oh my God. But it's true. We all feel that way about Phaedra. Phaedra has been lying to us since we met her. When we were talking about her due date, when people show you who they are the first time, you better believe them. But I feel like she's become such a caricature of herself. We even got to see her boys in this episode. I can't believe how big they are. Anyways. All right. So we get these other scenes, all right? Toya goes over at Dr. Simone's house. And I really do appreciate, and this is what we love about Married to Medicine, is that these folks are really friends. These folks really hang out. These folks really love each other. Because they even talk about at one point when she had, I guess, her tube sides and things like that, Toya, and how Cecil brought her home. Like, these people are really friends, and this is why they have created such great television together. So they're hanging out, they're catching up and talking, just we're getting updates on their lives, all right? Including Toya and Eugene's sex life. Was it this scene? I don't remember. Either way. No, it was the later scene. We get an update on their sex life in regards to that. But you remember last season, Toya and Eugene were having issues. Apparently, Dr. Simone and Cecil got very involved, and they were like, what's going on here? Let's figure it out. So apparently, Dr. Eugene and Toya are in a better place in regards to the relationship and things like that. Dr. Simone and Cecil, as you know, were writing a book last season, but at the advisement of Omarosa, I was like, you're writing this book, but you're not talking about the one thing that was actually on television, and that was the inappropriate relationship Cecil had with his friend. So you need to include that. And they felt like if they included that, if they rehashed that, it was going to hurt their relationship again. But I told you last season during our recap of this book, I was like, ain't nobody buying that. I didn't believe it was a real thing that they were doing. I felt like that was the storyline. And the fact that we're not going to get that book. Because my thing is, and for those of you that are married, will probably have a better answer for this. Can you just sort of put something under the rug and just move on in your relationship? And I get it. There are certain battles that in any relationship, you don't fight every battle. You have to pick and choose your battles. I just feel like this battle, even though it involves one particular person, I feel like this same scenario can come up again with another person, and you still have not laid the boundaries and resolved that issue with his friend. But I guess they were able to figure it out. They always go back to that scene. I know Andy Cohen talked about it during BravoCon again, during the reunion when they saved their marriage. And I think it was at the BravoCon panel. Yeah, it was the BravoCon panel where Dr. Simone said that, I think it was like the Wednesday, and they were supposed to sign the papers for finalize their divorce the Monday. I don't remember the exact days, but she said it was within days. But they had the reunion, and the reunion stopped them from doing it. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I don't believe that. But here's the thing. If you had gone that far to get a divorce, and you still have not resolved the main issue that was not only the only issue, I'm sure, but you haven't resolved that other issue, that you can't even write a book about it. I want to know. Maybe I could be wrong. We love to have differing opinions here on the page. So if you're part of the replay crew, or if you're in the live chat, let us know. Like, do you feel like you can move forward if you haven't resolved the issue that pretty much was maybe the cherry? I'm not going to say it's the only reason, but the cherry on top to why you decided to get a divorce. Just saying. I don't believe the book thing was a real thing anyway. Dr. G, Dr. Gregory Lunsford, has returned to our lives. I'm not sure if you are happy about that. I always tell you the voice on him always made me kind of... But apparently his DMs were lit. And I know some of you are like, this man is lying. No, there are women and men for everyone. Okay? Do I believe his DMs were lit? Yeah, yeah. He was on a reality show. He's not a bad looking guy. I mean, the voice ain't great, but he's a doctor. He's not a bad looking guy. I'm sure his DMs were lit. And apparently, Sweet Tea, the jury is out on Sweet Tea. Because how do you guys feel about Sweet Tea? Anyways, so apparently his DMs were lit, And I decided to slip in his DMs, and I sent him a DM, and I said, I wrote down, oh, I can give you what you need, heart, baby emoji. Oh my God. I don't know how a man would take you seriously, for a serious relationship without those particular words. But she's like, I could give you what you need. I was like, the jury is out on how I feel about Sweet Tea. I like her for the show so far because it gives us something new to look at and examine. But at the same time, I'm like, it makes perfect sense that these two came together. Quad and Dr. G did not make sense. Dr. G is an interesting personality. Quad is an interesting personality, but in a different way. For me, Quad is a little bit more put together and a lot more intelligent, common sense wise, and probably book wise too. But Lateasha seems a little okay, girl. A little bit. I saw her interview with Dr. Heavenly, and to me, she came across a little bit more grounded. But the way that we're seeing her on the show, I'm like, okay. So she said she slipped into his DMs that I can give you what you need. Baby emoji. Like, that's bold. But good for her. I'm not going to down a woman for going after for what she wants. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to ask for. That's the thing with me. And it might be a Taurus trait. Shout out to my other Tauruses. You'll let me know. Sometimes we always take on all of our stuff on our own. We don't ask for help. We don't reach out. We sort of play our position, which can come across as being snooty or thinking that you're better than. No, it's just sort of like to ourselves. Like, we could do it ourselves. We're not trying to get into any like, we have to be comfortable to be really social. Like, we're not really extroverts like that. Unless you're like, it depends on your charts too. Look, you know, we always bring it back to astrological signs. So Sweet Tea slips into his DMs, and he says that he told her, I love you. I don't know how long they had been talking, but it was her first trip to Atlanta because she didn't live in Atlanta. And she wore this dress, and he said it was the dress that made me say I love you. And she was like, really? He says stuff like this. And apparently, for the preview, he says some more stuff that's going to get him in trouble. All right? So we're introduced to this relationship, and they're kissing and having a very romantic moment. But they're newly, they're new. It's a new relationship, and we have these other relationships that have been together a long time. At one point, Toya's like, Eugene, come over here and give me a kiss. All this kissing and hug, and he's like, mm-mm. I know some of you are going to read into that and believe, oh, this relationship is on the rocks, her and Toya. Because we've said it countless times about Dr. Eugene and Toya's relationship. I'm guessing this season we're not going to focus on them moving. They haven't moved. I believe they're still in the same house that they were in from last season. And I think it was BravoCon. I can't remember. Like, it's such a mix now. I believe it was BravoCon. If not this episode, Toya talked about why she moves so much. And she says because, she likes finding the next best thing, and she has multiple dream homes. And look, here's the thing though, Toya, you can't be mad at people for having their opinions. And I'm not saying that she is. You can't be mad at people for having their opinions on something that you share on a reality show. You can't be mad at them for that. You could be mad at them. I mean, you could be mad regardless, but you can't shut people up for having an opinion on a show that you've displayed this type of behavior year after year after year. She also had her booth again this year at BravoCon because she has like a skincare thing, and she has a wine brand, which we don't know because they don't really show it at all. I don't think they show it at all on the show. And maybe because she didn't want to sign over any percentage to Bravo. Who knows? Anyways, I would like to see that side of Toya though on the show. They don't show enough of that in regards to they really try to make it seem as if she's just this housewife and nothing else is going on. And there's plenty of just 2 brands. Literally last year at BravoCon, she had like a whole corner. Like she had her own, she had the biggest area last year at BravoCon. This year was a little bit smaller, but I did notice that quite a few people that had booths last year did not this year. Kenya was only selling t-shirts last year. She didn't sell any of her products there. Candy did not have a booth this year, which I was actually surprised about. Embezzled hats, Robin's embezzled hats were not there. At least I didn't see them. Sutton still had something there. Ion actually had a booth this year, and she spent a lot of time at her booth. She spent a lot of time at her booth this year. Quite a few people have, you know what? Because we probably won't talk about Sandoval, but Sandoval's booth, although he had a little makeshift sign to tell you the prices, his sweaters are nice. His sweatshirts, even the designs, are really nice. I know people are mad at Sandoval, but you know we don't care. We say what we want to say. We don't care how people feel in regards to, because we don't have team. You know how people are. And I was like, these sweatshirts are nice. And then I saw someone that was attending BravoCon, this black woman, beautiful black woman. She wore the sweatshirt like a dress, very much like Rachel. And she wore it with like these boots. And I was like, it looks like quality. So I got to give it to them. Like, I almost bought a sweatshirt. Because like, but here's why I wouldn't buy it. I don't want to buy anything that says Tom Tom. Oh, I should go check out Tom Tom while I'm here. Tom Tom, Pump. I don't drink. And I'm not even interested like that. I just want to kind of see the outside. I don't really want to go inside. I don't want to do any of that. But I'm going to go take a walk and go take a look at it. Anyways, moving on. See how I digressed? Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. This is our weekly recap of Married to Medicine, Season 10. 10 years of Married to Medicine, Episode 1. And we got a very little bit of Quadrica. Quadrica, right? It's Quadrica? Quadrina? Oh, sorry, Quad. All right, anyways. Moving on. Dr. Heavenly goes shopping with her daughter, Alora, and Dr. Heavenly's storyline this season, besides her getting in the mess of everyone else, her storyline this season is that her daughter's going off to college. Her sons went to in-state colleges, but her daughter wants to go to FAMU, and she's not dealing with that because her daughter has always been with her. And they show these old clips of Alora dragging. That girl always, that's the only person that can get Dr. Heavenly together. Well, Quad too. But Alora definitely gets her mother together. So they go dress shopping. And of course, Dr. Heavenly's going to be funny. And we need something that's going to control the boobs. We need cover her up. And she's like, no, I want something revealing. And the first dress, I like the first dress. Which dress did you guys prefer? The first dress was really pretty for me. Alora's going off to college. The big issue for Dr. Heavenly is, not having her daughter around the way that she's used to. And I thought to myself, I don't know which college is better, FAMU or Spelman, but I was like, oh, Spelman, that's a good college too. But I was just telling this to my own sister about telling her son to go off to college. Don't let him, no, you should go off, even if it's within the state, he should go away and stay in a dorm. He needs to fly and have his own wings. That's one of, not I don't have any regrets, but if I could do it again, I would go away to college. But at the same time, I probably would not be in New York if I had went away to college, depending on where I went. Or maybe I would have. I love New York. New York is my city. Being here in Los Angeles, I mean, I get it. Great weather. It's a city though, and I'm just like, eh. And it's very much like, New York has its smells and its homeless people and the different things and the strange folks doing strange things on the streets. But just saying is, I still love my New York. Even with the weather issues that we have, like during the winters and things like that. Still love it. But look, this is only what? I've been here 24 hours, almost 48 hours. Maybe. Look, maybe. I have to still see more. I mean, I've only been in Hollywood, so there's still a lot more to see, a lot more to do. I'm going to try and do that and still give you guys a little something. A little something. All right, so back to this. All right, Sweet Tea's hoedown party. What was this like her? This wasn't her bachelorette. Wasn't her engagement party? A hoedown. So Sweet Tea's from Arkansas. She grew up in Texas. She has a twin sister that is fraternal, but they really do look alike. There's plenty of fraternal twins that look alike. Isn't Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, they're fraternal? Isn't Tia and Tamara, they're fraternal? But I can tell them apart most of the time. There are moments where I'm like, wait, who is that? Like photo shoots, I can't tell them apart. But so a lot of the famous twins that we know are fraternal and not identical. And when we're talking about identical, isn't it more so about their DNA versus the way that they look? Because some people, they see pictures of my brother, one of my brothers, and they're like, y'all look so much alike. They probably, who knows? I haven't even asked them. Have people stopped you thinking that you're me? And I know it's calm down, y'all. I'm not getting a big head. People do stop me depending on where I am. They're like, I follow you on YouTube. Like the flight coming to LA. Some people stop me on the flight. I'm subscribed to your channel. Shout out to the black folk, because y'all are like my mama and my papas. Because y'all always say, keep going, keep pushing. I'm praying for you. I'm like, I love that. I love that. Just saying. Okay. Anyways, Sweet Tea's hoedown party. All right. So we meet her twin. All right. We also meet Dr. Lateasha. So you remember that they were planning to do a Married to Medicine DC. At least that's the word on the street. So we met Dr. Lateasha a while ago. So when they see her, they're like, oh my God, you're here. And she's like, yeah, I moved here. And at one point, Toya asked her, oh, are you and Dr. Heavenly going to work together? She's like, no. And it came across shady. It did come across shady. However, I don't think that it was necessarily shade. She says it wasn't shade. She says, I like to keep my friendships and my business stuff separate. Her husband is also a doctor. I still miss Audra. I feel like Audra still should have got that shot. I liked Audra. But no offense to Dr. Lateasha. So Dr. Alicia's there. We didn't get a lot from Dr. Lateasha here. We got a little bit of Dr. Lateasha during the Married to Medicine panel. Dr. Lateasha, she's one to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if they make her full-time next season. All right? Because Quad might be gone. Quad needs to be on? Okay, let's talk. Speaking of Quad is a theme that continues to come up throughout this episode. If anything, this episode should have been named after Quad and not Sweet Tea. All right? So, Dr. Heavenly being messy asked Sweet Tea, what do you like about being engaged? And she's like, I like having access to the money. I'm gonna have fun this season. I don't know about you. When I saw the clip of this before the episode even aired, I was just like, and then Phaedra in her confession, she's like, my gold digger meter just went ding, 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 ding. And I didn't think about her being a gold digger. I just think that she's socially awkward and she says weird things. I didn't think that she's a gold digger. I think she comes from humble beginnings, and I think she's met someone that has more than she has because he's been around. He's quite older than she is. That's another element that we have to keep in mind, that Sweet Tea is young. What is she, like 30-something years old, right? So she's like, I like having access to the money. And then when I came into the house, I was like, ooh. First of all, the sidebar, there was a scene where Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly were talking, and Dr. Heavenly had already been over at the house, and she's like, I don't know about her in her decor. The house looks a lot better when Quad lived in it. And we saw a difference in regards to this home. I was surprised that he still lived there, but he owns it. He probably paid it off, whatever. So he's still living there, but it's a little bit more modern now in regards to, he made some upgrades. I don't know if that's when Sweet Tea came in or whatever. Dr. Heavenly was like, her taste is more like Tasha. You know, Quad probably had an interior designer come in. Probably. You know, you remember what's his name that we met on Candy and the Gang. I can't think of his name, but we follow him. You know, y'all were trying to hook me up with him. Cute. You look cutie patootie. But he's an interior designer. He did Quad's new home. I don't know if he did Quad's home back then. I need to ask him, because that would be interesting. He's very, very good. Quad's new home is gorgeous. So I didn't think the home looked bad. I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't think it looked bad, but Dr. Heavenly has her opinions. So people are a little like taken aback by Sweet Tea's comment. Like, and then Toya was like, do people call you a gold digger? She's like, well, sometimes. Well, no, I'm not a gold digger. And then she's like, then say no. And I can appreciate Toya sort of like being a big sister to Lateasha. And I feel like that's what they said during BravoCon, is that that's what she's sort of been for her. And, you know, so a lot of people think that Lateasha looks like Toya. In a way. I can see why people think that. A different version of Toya. So, and funny because she has the name LaToya. And then, anyways, I've digressed. So she's like, oh yeah, no. And then we get into this conversation because she's talking about how she wants to have a family, but she has some issues. And she went to Dr. Simone because Dr. G looks to Dr. Simone as a sister. And she got a referral. Dr. Simone gave her a referral to a specialist. And then, of course, Dr. Heavenly chimes in, well, why didn't you recommend Dr. Jackie? Dr. Jackie does surgery. She just deals with the fibroids and things like that. It leads to a battle between, because you know, both of them get very loud, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone's like, she's like, I referred her to a specialist. And of course, Dr. Jackie in her confessional, she's like, I wish I could just pop Dr. Heavenly in the mouth. How about you just say Dr. Jackie to Heavenly in that moment? This is why the group gets annoyed with Dr. Jackie, because this was a clear moment where Dr. Jackie should have said to her, there's a difference between, of course, I do surgery, Dr. Simone does surgery, but this is a specialist. Hence why their name is specialist. And Dr. Simone is like, I can do surgery. And when it becomes necessary for me to recommend someone to Dr. Jackie, I do. But but don't you want to keep the money within the group? And Dr. Simone is like, I'm going to need Dr. Heavenly to stick to veneers and mind her business. Here's the thing. I don't think that Dr. Heavenly is ignorant to what any of these women can do as doctors. Even though she says, you know, Dr. Jackie's just so, she loves Dr. Jackie. She's just so amazing. She could work on my brain, my teeth. And if I'm going to get someone to work on my coochie, I'm going to call Dr. Jackie. And yes, I get it. I wonder what Dr. Jackie's opinion would be, though. Maybe Dr. Jackie's like, well, you could have sent her to me, but you didn't. There might be a deeper issue there. But I didn't try to go into that realm, because Dr. Jackie does say in that moment, she's like, well, you're happy and everything's going to work out. You went to a great doctor. Okay. I don't know why she couldn't just chime in earlier and just to shut Dr. Heavenly down. Like, Heavenly. She sent her, and I think for the audience's sake, what is the difference between Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie versus sending Simone to a specialist? There also might be another reason, Dr. Heavenly. Dr. G is a personal friend of both Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. This woman's about to be his wife. Maybe they just felt this is their specialty. I don't have the time within my schedule to add someone else. Also, conflict of interest. Even though we know Dr. Jackie has worked on so many people that she's probably been friends with and things like that. Just something to keep in mind. That's why I love this show, though, because we're talking about people that have actual jobs and specialties and things like that. Okay. So this leads to this whole uproar, and everyone's just like, what is going on? Sweet Tea's like, what is going on? So Toya decides to bring up out of left field, and you know we try to keep up on all the news. Quad had a DUI. Did we Google schmoogle this to confirm? So Toya decides to bring it up. And Toya says, well, if you Google schmoogle it, she didn't say it like that. Yeah, Quadrica Webb Lunsford, well, take the Lunsford off, that's someone else's title now, has a DUI. So she asked Phaedra, are you helping her with that? And Phaedra in her confession is like, you do not put a DUI on a Christian woman. And I believe Quad is a Christian woman. Come on now, Christian women get DUIs too. Okay, so apparently there's this DUI situation. So Toya decides to bring it up on camera, and I know some of you are gonna be like, why she do that? That was wrong. Well, you do remember what Quad did to her last season. She alluded that she may have been a part of these break-ins. She could have ended up in jail. All right? So Toya is probably trying to get some get back. Or not. Maybe she's like, well, no, this is something that's in the news. I didn't see it, though. So that becomes another situation. So they start talking about Quad, and Lateasha is just like, I don't want to, he's in a different space. He's settled, and she's feeling the pressure of this group constantly bringing up Quad, and I don't blame her. Do you blame her for feeling uncomfortable with them constantly bringing up Quad? I don't blame her. But I also think that she should be very aware that you're on a show that Quad, even if she wasn't on the show this season, they're going to talk about her because she started the show with everyone and she was married to this man. So they're always going to make associations. But Sweet T's sister had to chime in because she was trying to say something. Nobody was listening. She like, y'all gonna shut up. She's the mean tween. She's mean T. So she decided to, get people together. So Sweet Tea has a lot to say during her confessionals that she doesn't say necessarily to the women. We do get the scene of her being upset when talking to Dr. Gregory about how people were treating her at this, engagement party because they're on their way to get their marriage license. She's interesting. She's awkwardly interesting, but I'm not surprised that she's with Dr. G. It would take someone like her to be with Dr. G, and also her youth to match his immaturity and emotional immaturity. I can see why this works, but based off of the preview for what week. Okay, it's been a week. Shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And of course, shout out to our King's Guards holding us down in the live chat and in the comment section. We could not do this without them. I hope you all have a great rest of your hump day. Stay tuned. Be sure to check out all of what you may have missed from our BravoCon weekend. We posted some of the actual live panels that we attended, so be sure to check those out. Shout out to our members that got to see it before anyone else. We appreciate you guys. And be sure to check out some of the videos that we already posted today in regards to some hot topics that are going on. Everyone, like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Let's get out of here.